Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s as we begin with the welterweight division. Now, today's video is going to discuss the dropouts from last year, the guys that entered the top 10 last year but have dropped out. And the welterweight division has 6 guys that dropped out of last year's top 10. So the welterweight division definitely has taken a turnover. But sitting at the top are, 3 kings right now between, not going to give it away, but Spence, Ugas, and Crawford, the champions. But the rest of the top 10 really took a hit. We have a lot of new faces in, and, some old guys, older fighters dropping out. So let's start with that. The welterweight's still one of the best divisions in boxing, though, because of the cream at the crop of the top 10. But let's take a look at the new welterweight top 10. But we got to start with the dropouts, and that's who we go with here. Now, from lowest to highest, we start with 33-year-old former secondary champion, previously tied for 10th, Jamal James of the United States. James entered the year as the regular champion and was looking to be building on to be building up. He was coming off of a big win over Thomas Delorme, where he cleanly outboxed him in August of 2020. And he entered hoping to secure a big-time fight or a rematch with Yordenis Ugas. He was really hoping for something big. He settled for a showdown with Radzab Butayev. And in a fight that a lot of people thought, James was going to win clean, he got beat down because he decided to fight Butayev's fight. He decided to kind of go toe-to-toe with Butayev and mix it up instead of using his height and reach. And that cost him, as Butayev grinded him down, beat him down, ended up stopping him. So he's still ranked number 9 by the WBA. But at 33, it's going to be a long road back to prominence for Jamal James. But I say he shake this off, and hopefully he comes back around the middle of 2022, shake off some rust, and maybe he'll get a couple fights in, maybe he can get into some kind of an eliminator before the end of the year. The next guy to drop out is 32-year-old former junior welterweight champion at 140, Sergey Lipinets. Lipinets previously was number 9 coming into the year. And, it's sad because Lipinets was coming off of a difficult 2020 when he fought, I think the guy's name was Custio Clayton, and came up short by fighting to a draw, which would have secured a title shot for him with Errol Spence. But the draw messed everything up in the IBF, and Lipinets ended up taking on Jaron Ennis, undefeated prospect on the rise. And, he became Ennis' swan song as he got his ass whipped and knocked out in the 6th round of that fight. And now, who knows what's going to go on with Lipinets. Personally, I think Lipinets was a very strong 140-pounder. He just came up short against a great fighter in Mikey Garcia when they fought years ago when he lost his title. But, I still think he can be effective at 140 if he can make the weight. But we'll see. We'll see what he bounces back with. Like I said, Lipinets not a bad fighter. I just think he ran into a big, strong, young welterweight and Jaron Ennis and got beat down. So we'll see how he responds in 2022. Hopefully he comes back at some point, shakes off the rust, and get a couple fights in again, maybe working himself into an eliminator. He is a PBC guy, so there's a lot of options there. Next guy dropping out is 34-year-old former 4-division world champion Mikey Garcia. And the only reason I have Mikey dropping out is because he has made it clear that he's going to be campaigning at 140 pounds. He fought Sandor Martin at a catchweight in October and was upset in one of the biggest upsets of the year, losing a majority decision in that one. But he probably still would be ranked as a welterweight just because of his resume if he stuck it out at welterweight. But he's made it clear he wants to move down to 140, so I got him ranked there. He's still technically the WBC's number 2 contender. He previously was number 8 at the year-end top 10s for 2020. But, you know, we'll see how he bounces back. from defeat, and if he truly is going to stick it out at 140 pounds. Also dropping out is 33-year-old former unified champion Keith one-time Thurman. Thurman entered the year number 5. He was coming off of a 2020 where he didn't fight, but he had given, in 2019, when he lost the title, he had given Manny Pacquiao hell as he lost a split decision. But, you know, I thought he would be back for sure in 2021, and he didn't. He didn't fight. Supposed injuries kept him out of the ring. Now he's been out of the ring for close to 2.5 years. He is set to return in February against Mario Barrios. If he sticks that out and officially returns and is victorious, he'll probably come back into the top 10. But, you know, Thurman needs to stay active in order to secure his spot. Right now, he's the WBC's number 4 contender. Also dropping out is 34-year-old former 2-time champion Showtime Shawn Porter. Porter previously was number 4, and he was coming into the year in 2021 as you know, a former champion. He had only fought once, but he was trying to secure a big fight, and a mandatory was ordered for him to fight Terrence Crawford, and he made it happen. So the fight went forward. Porter fought his ass off. It was a very close fight. Heading into the 10th round, I think Crawford was narrowly ahead by 1 point on 2 cards. But Crawford had been setting him up, landed a wicked left uppercut that put him down. The follow-up barrage put him down again. He was angry, hitting the mat as he got to his feet, but then his dad threw in the towel. And that was all she wrote, as Porter was stopped for the first time in his career. Porter would say afterwards that he was retiring, and that's why he's dropping out of the top 10. Dropping out of the top 10. So what a great career for Shawn Porter, though. We'll go into that. We'll do retirement videos for you know, some of the top guys that ended up retiring this past year. But Shawn Porter, nothing to hang his head about. He left it all out there in the ring. And finally, the last guy to drop out of the top 10 is 42-year-old former 8th Division World Champion, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Previously was number 3 coming into the year, Manny the Pac-Man Pacquiao. Pacquiao entered the year as the WBA Super Champion still, but early in the year, he was named champion at recess, and Ugas was upgraded to full champion. Pacquiao was supposed to fight Errol Spence for the unified title in August, but Spence had to pull out with a retinal tear, and in would step Yordenis Ugas on 2 weeks' notice. Pacquiao was a sizable favorite heading into that, but Yordenis Ugas used a great jab and boxing to just outclass the, you know, former champion who had been out of action for over 2 years, and he secured a unanimous decision over Pacquiao. Pacquiao took a little time to consider his options and then announced his official retirement from boxing. Sad day. Pacquiao's one of the greatest fighters ever. Watching him the last 20 years was a pleasure. You know, it really was. But he went out there, another guy went out on his shield and decided to call it quits as he's pursuing the presidency in the Philippines. So major stuff going on for Pacquiao outside of the ring. But a great career, and that's it. Those are the dropouts for the welterweight, the 147-pound welterweight division as we continue my 2021 year-end top 10s. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.